We're going to start today with a lateral march. So I'm going to lower my hips. I want my weight evenly distributed in my feet. I want to make sure that my hips, my pelvis is tucked underneath me. And I'm going to march to the side, picking my feet up and planting them flat each time, holding that back position in the same angle. And we're going to go back to the way we started. And we're going to do that one more time. Making sure that we're holding our core in tight and going back. Flat foot each time, picking the feet up. Next move is going to be a hip lift. I'm going to use a pillow to squeeze between my legs to focus on using my adductors or the inside parts of my legs. So I'm going to squeeze up and come back down. And we're going to do 10 of those. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we're going to do a controlled descent push-up. So it's just the part of the push-up where you're lowering yourself to the floor. So we're going to come up onto our toes if you can hold yourself in that position. If not, it is okay to come to your knees. I would prefer you start here. You're going to keep your elbows in at your sides and slowly control coming down to the ground, and then come back up however you need to. We're going to do 5 of those all together. So 2, elbows into my sides. This is how it would look on my knees. 3, making sure that my hands are underneath my shoulders. So I don't want to start with my hands out in front of me. Hands are underneath my shoulders. This is 4, coming up however you need to, and 5, and coming up however you need to. And then we're going to do the whole thing over again, but we're going to start over here on this side. Lateral march. Pulling the belly in, keeping your hips low. And we're going to go back one more time. And now we have 10 hip lifts with the pillow between our legs. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, pushing into the feet, 6, 7, squeezing the glutes, 8, 9, and 10. And the controlled descent push-ups. So just the bottom part of the push-up one more time. So 1, however you need to come up. 2, 3, 4, squeezing the elbows into the sides, and 5. Combination today of a half kneeling press and lateral lunges with a knee raise. So first part, you could use a dumbbell, a water bottle, a can of soup, whatever is available to you. I want to come into this half kneeling position. The knee that is down is the hand that the weight is going to go into. And I want to make sure that I don't have my butt facing back behind me, that I want to tuck my hips underneath me, using my core to hold that position. And that's really why we're doing this in this half kneeling position, is to emphasize using or making sure that your pelvis is in the correct position and using our core on top of just doing this press. And then we're going to do 12 presses. So it's 1, 2, 3, making sure my goal here is at the top, is that my hand is over top of my shoulder and my hip and my knee. 4, 5, breathing, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, keeping the pelvis in the position, 11 and 12. And then we're going to switch to the other side. Again, get yourself in a good stable position to begin with. So tucking the pelvis under, core is tight. The weight is in the same hand as the knee that's down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then we're going to do a lateral lunge to a knee raise. My floor is a little slippery, so hopefully I don't fall. We're going to go sideways to a lunge. I want to drop my hips back behind me. I don't want to get this movement by tipping my chest forward. I want to keep my shoulder over top of my hip and my ankle. And then I'm going to press into standing and then bring that knee up. So I'm going to come out, core tight, knee up. The idea is it be one movement. That's 3. But if you need to come back to standing and then bring the knee up, that's okay as well. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And now we're going to go to the other side. This time I'm going to show you if you wanted to add a weight to it. You could hold it here out in front. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or you can hold it in the arm of the leg that's moving. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, core tight, and 12. And now we're going to go back to the presses. We're going to start on the side that we ended, which was this side. Again, making sure that the pelvis is tucked under, the weight goes in the same arm as the knees on the floor. And 1, 2, the arm could also go out here at the side, 3, or holding it here at your waist to kind of emphasize keeping that pelvis tucked under. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. The other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then again, we're going to go where we finished our first set. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Remember, these are all options. 11 and 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, core tight, 10, 11, and 12. End today with a side plank. There are multiple ways that you could hold this, just depending on where you are in your fitness journey. A couple things, no matter what way you hold this, you want to emphasize is that the hand is flat, not in a fist. So I'm going to have your hand flat. I want to make sure that my elbow is underneath my shoulder. And from here, I am lifting up out of my shoulder. I'm not sunk down into my shoulder. If I'm sunk into my shoulder, your elbow is going to hurt really hard, really badly, because all of your weight is in your elbow. So come up out of the shoulder. Core is tight. This shoulder is stacked over top of this shoulder. And we're going to hold this for 30 seconds as soon as I get my timer to work correctly. All right, and begin. So we could hold in this position. You could hold with your legs stacked one on top of the other. You could have one foot in front of the other. Any of those are viable options. No matter what you're doing, this shoulder is stacked over top of this shoulder, meaning you're not here or back behind here. You're holding this position and you're pulling up out of your shoulder so you're not sunk in. And we're already there. We're gonna rest for 30 seconds and do the same side one more time. So we're just gonna hang out here, make sure that we're breathing. Relax as best you can. I like to sit in what's like a figure 4 is what it's called in yoga world. And I'm emphasizing that both of my sit bones, I'm sitting, trying to sit as flat as possible. I'm breathing. All right, in 2, 1, we're gonna come back up one more time to this side body plank. Breathing, don't hold your breath. Remember that we're pulling up out of this shoulder, trying to be as tall as we can in this position. Breathing. We're almost there. We got 5 seconds. 2, 1, and rest. We're going to make our way over to the other side. We're going to do that side twice. And then we'll be done for today. So, again, I like to sit in, it's, it sort of makes the number 4 with your legs, is why it's called a figure 4. And we're going to begin again. Remember, I want the elbow to be underneath my shoulder and my hand flat, so I'm using my fingers to hold myself up there. We're going to hold in this position. Elbow underneath shoulder, underneath my second shoulder. We're going to hold tight, squeezing the legs together. Keep pulling this hip up as high as you can. Pulling up out of the shoulder. 2, 1, and rest. And we have one more 30 seconds. Now, if you can't make it the entire 30 seconds and you need to rest for a second and then come back up, that's obviously okay. The goal is to accumulate those 30 seconds at a time. Or not, excuse me, not accumulate, but the goal is to eventually be able to hold that position for the whole 30 seconds at a time. So if you do this every week or every couple weeks, you know, eventually you should be able to get through there. All right, we got one more 30 seconds. Make sure you're breathing and pulling up out of that shoulder. Now, if your elbow is still really bothering you, roll up your yoga mat. It's getting a little chilly out here. Roll up your yoga mat a couple times, or you could put another pillow underneath your elbow to try to hold or to take away some of the achiness of it. And